What's going on, sports fans? Welcome back to another video. As you can see today, I'm going to show you how to draft from the 9th spot in this year's fantasy football league. Now, I am the 9th spot in a 10-team league, so I have the 9th, and then I have the 12th pick, which I really like, and I'm going to show you my strategy, or at least what I want to do without giving away all the players, because I know people from my league are going to try to watch this and steal my players. With that being said, if this video does well, I might have time to do 2 or 3 other draft spots, so let me know down below what you want to see, and maybe I'll do that draft spot next. We only have about a week and a half till my draft. I think it's 12 days, so right around there. But as you can see, I've done so many mock drafts. I don't know how to scroll down here on Sleeper because I've done them all on my mobile phone, but I've done all these mock drafts in the last couple of months just to try to see what players are going to be available around my position. So I got it open right here, and while I am in the bottom right of the screen, you're not going to be able to see this. I'm drafting from the 9th spot, and the settings I'm using, I think it's PPR, and there's only 5 bench spots, so expect this to be a little bit of a shorter video. But if you did enjoy, subscribe so I can try to make more of these videos for you guys. But let's get right into it when I hit start draft. So to start off, the strategy that I really like, let me turn these sounds off on Sleeper. So to start out, I really like the idea of going running back at the start, especially towards the end of the round, because of how good the wide receivers are coming up. Like right now, I could get AJ Brown and probably flip it into AJ Brown and a running back, but I really like the running back options right now. So I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs, even though this is reaching a little bit on his ADP. Now, one thing I will say about ADP is not to worry too much about it. If you like players, that's what you should do. So I went Jahmyr Gibbs first round. The person behind me went running back wide receiver, which still left me a good wide receiver. Now, if I would have gotten somebody like Breece Hall, I definitely would not take Garrett Wilson again, because then that limits your ceiling on what you can have. If you have 2 players from the same team, that is not like a quarterback running back stack or a quarterback wide receiver stack. So I'm, again, like I said, I'm going to go with running back here. And I mean, I'm just going based off ADP right now, which is not what you should really do. Like if you like Kyron Williams better, or if you like another running back down here, like I think Travis Etienne should be down here somewhere. Like I said, Travis Etienne's down here at like 19th, and I got to make a pick now. So if you like Travis Etienne as your RB2, then do that. But I'm just going to go with Saquon Barkley. He's the best available running back. Pretty much what I want to show you is how I'm going to fill up the slots on my team. So I went running back to start. The person in the 8th slot's taking a little bit long here, even though this is a CPU draft, so I guess they're struggling with who to get right now. So now I'm confused what happens. I can't tell if like the thing lagged. This has never happened before. So it is my turn to pick, and oh, I just got auto drafted Stephon Diggs. Can I please stop? Golly, this is just so annoying. All right, let's try this again. This is literally like my 3rd attempt to try to get a draft. I have no clue what's going on with my computer, okay? Can you please stop giving me options here? Let me just claim my team. Okay, I think we're ready to start now, finally. Maybe. We'll see what happens. And the sounds are still on. Let me turn them off. I have no clue what's going on. The computer's being difficult for me today. I almost had Tyreek Hill follow me, which would have been crazy. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go running back like I did last time, just to try to fly through this. I'll probably have some solid options here as I get Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. Just going strictly off ADP for this because I don't want to give away my players. And that builds out my running back core really nicely. We don't get the glitch, so we should be fine to go for the 3rd round. Sorry about that. I hope you didn't skip the video. Something I will say, 2 tight ends and a quarterback have already gone. I don't really see a difference between tight end 3 and, I guess, tight end 8, so I'll probably not take a tight end too early. Now, my strategy here is to go wide receiver next, especially if you're looking to trade a pick. Get rid of someone around the 4th round, the beginning of the 4th round, because I don't really like my options. I do like Jalen Waddle here as a wide receiver, I'll say that, but just strictly for ADP, I'm going to go ahead and go with Nico Collins. Could be solid as well, but it's not really the option I would personally go with. I don't want to tell you who I would go with there in that slot. That's not the person I would go with. Now, we get a chance to go wide receiver again, and I'm going to skip on Stephon Diggs since I just drafted a Houston wide receiver and go with Jalen Waddle. Now, if you scroll down just a little bit and not worry about ADP, if you really like a DK Metcalf type of guy, or Devontae Smith, Zay Flowers, they're still down there. Cooper Kupp's down there, so you can really get whoever you want. I'm gonna go with Jalen Waddle for this case though. Going into round 5, if you have the 9th spot and you're not trading away any picks, you should be able to have 2 RB1s and then 2 solid low-end wide receiver ones starting your team for this season. And that's pretty much what I have here. It's going to be our pick coming up here soon. A couple tight ends have gone in front of me. Right now is when I would look to see if any of those elite quarterbacks are still available. I'm not willing to take a chance on Anthony Richardson right now. I would say if you have Lamar Jackson or Stroud or Hurts around this time, that's when you should draft them. Right around end of round 5, because I still think you can get some of these guys lower in the draft like Kyler, Dak, and Jordan Love in 3 rounds while you're still picking up some other players. Now, again, you might find this unconventional. I'm going starting wide receiver, starting running back again with my next pick. So my first 6 picks, what I'm really trying to go here is to build out my team. I'm getting Zay Flowers here. Kenneth Walker would be another good choice, as Kenneth Walker is probably literally going to go next. Between Kamara and Kenneth Walker, I'd probably take Kamara just because Kenneth Walker splits with Zach Charbonnet, and not sure if Kamara is splitting with the guy from TCU. I'm blanking on his name. Kendre Miller, I think it is. As you can see here, there's a guy I am pretty high on that I think is still available, but let me scroll down to what I would do next. Now, you're going to find this really weird, but I'm doing the same thing here, drafting from the 9th spot. I'm going, if I can ever scroll down, the guy that I want. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just going to go down and take Rashee Rice or Keenan Allen or Terry McLaurin. For this draft, let's just say I got Terry McLaurin, another wide receiver one on a team where there's not really a lot of competition for him. Now, coming up a running back, this is where I'd want another starting running back. And there's some guys with good upside on their team, like Tony Pollard in Tennessee, except he might be shadowed by Tyjae Spears. Now, as you can see, Nick Chubb's down there, could be worth a flyer late, but with the pick I have now, I'm going Raheem Mostert, and that leaves me, I just realized I drafted 2 Miami players, so yeah, this draft probably sucks. But we live, we move. Now, as you can see, through 8 rounds, I've only drafted running backs and wide receivers. I think those are the 2 most important positions, and here is where I would start drafting your tight ends and quarterbacks. Now, I would really look to see what the guy behind me or in front of me has. They have both a quarterback and a tight end, so I'm not really worried about what they're going to take, but I'm going to eye out the highest rated quarterback and the highest rated tight end left, which is going to be Jordan Love and David Njoku. So just like that, I'm really liking the way this team has come together. It's not all the picks I would have made because I'm trying to save myself for the real draft here, if you know what I'm saying. But one thing I will say, sleeper on the laptop kind of sucks. I'm struggling to try to get what I want here. Now, right here, I would think that it's harder to get running backs and wide receivers, so I would take Tyjae Spears here with one of my last few skill position picks. One draft strategy I have for this year is to not draft a backup quarterback and a backup tight end. I don't think they're important for week 1. I want to roster guys that have a chance to actually make an impact before my quarterback's bye week. And especially in a 10-guy league, they're probably only going to be 15, 16 quarterbacks drafted anyway. I can go grab quarterback 17 who might be a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. Now, at wide receiver here, a guy I'm willing to take a chance on is Courtland Sutton. Late round pick, going undrafted in some rounds. There's also like Khalil Shakir's, Curtis Samuels, Tyler Lockett's been going undrafted. So I'm going to take a snipe here on Courtland Sutton, see what happens. Now, the last 2 picks obviously go to defense and kicker. The way I've been doing it as the 9th pick is letting it come to me. So usually all kickers have gone to maybe one defense. It's usually the Niners defense that'll go first right before me. What I'm willing to do is, now that it's my pick, I have the top defense available to me. I'd rather have defense 1 than defense. I guess it would be defense 2 anyway. Kicker doesn't really matter to me. Cameron Dicker, the kicker. I'm cool with that. And with that being said, that's the end of the draft. Let's go and check out how the team did. You can let me know how you feel about it. I do enjoy Jordan Love there at quarterback. The only thing I think I would have changed for this purposes is to not draft 2 Miami starters, as I have Jalen Waddle and I have Raheem Mostert. But maybe that's not that bad of a thing because last year they were both pretty solid. If you're going to really analyze this team, quarterback 1, solid. Both my running backs, pretty good. Wide receiver is where I think I'm a little bit weak here. And that's the way that my drafts have gone. Now, if you're able to get a Deebo Samuel or a Mike Evans type guy, that would probably be a little bit better. But the reason I'm not really concerned about not having like a top tier wide receiver like an AJ Brown or an Amon-Ra St. Brown or any of the top guys is because then on my bench, I've got Zay Flowers, McLaurin, and Courtland Sutton, all guys that could play and get you a solid 12-15 points in a game. That is going to be my advice on how you should draft from the 9 spot. Sorry for the clunkiness. I know that it was not the smoothest computer process, but if you enjoyed, let me know down below. Make sure you subscribe because I will do more of these videos if you want. With fantasy football season coming, I cannot wait. But with that being said, make sure you all have a great day and peace.